What's up, Padawans? What's up, Padawans? Afro Show the Wicked Tail like a T. I motherfucking is. Today, I'm gonna do this video because it's been on my mind for months on end, and I thought I would do this. You might see the Me Too, and it says versus the Black Lives Matter. The reason I put this is because it's been going through my mind lately that I don't support neither one of these groups. And there's few people, not even gonna say a few people, there's a lot of people that don't support them. Let's say 50% of the population of today don't support neither of these movements, and that's women and black people. And that's bad. And it's bad to see that there's two movements that's supposed to be for the people, but there's people that don't want it. And the reason why I say have this like it's Me Too versus Black Lives Matter is because I've seen I don't like the news, I don't trust it, but there's been stories where it comes out that black people, like I did a post up on my Facebook about Black Lives Matter marching for Meek Mills, but they won't march for Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby's black. Or Corey Feldman was raped as a kid, and he went on crusade for two last 2 years, saying he was molested and there was pedophiles and rapists in Hollywood. The Me Too movement never had his back. And I sit up here and I look, and it gets worse and worse. I say, you look at Terry Crews, he was sexually assaulted, but the me, not, but the Black Lives Matter movement did not back him up. This man went to the Me Too movement, and they say that a black man had to go to the Me Too movement to get back up. Now, he didn't get it from the Black Lives Matter. Well, y'all can separate. So, well, he was sexually assaulted, but he's black too. I says, but it's funny that the like I said, the Black Lives Matter didn't back him up, but all these black comedians and black actors have poked fun and call him a punk, a sissy for not beating this guy up. And I sit there, it's like, if that's how black, I was like, they don't represent Black Lives Matter, but you calling this man a punk because he didn't beat up nobody, because he was sexually assaulted. So would they call the women that's been raped a punk for not beating up the person that raped them? You can call a grown black man this that works out a punk because he was sexual assaulted, a punk, but you can't call a rape victim a punk for being raped. And the reason why I said Me Too movement versus Black Lives Matter is because it makes me wonder. I was like, so if a black man had to go to the Me Too movement, does it hurt the Black Lives Matter movement because a black man had to go to oh, a movement for sexual assault and rape instead of going to a movement for black folks? Why didn't Black Lives Matter step in and say, well, we support Terry Crews? They can say, well, no, we support him. What was y'all doing when them black celebrities was poking fun at him, calling him a punk, a wimp, a sissy, because he didn't beat up this guy? Is that how Black Lives represent? You march for Meek Mills, but you won't march for Bill Cosby? It's awfully funny that they march for Meek Mills, and he has a not to be mean because because I don't know Meek Mills, but he does get a criminal record. I said this man was what on probation already, and y'all march for this guy because of a mistake. But when it came down to Bill Cosby, he couldn't get one person out of the Black Lives Matter movements to march in his defense. None. But you sit up there and let him be, and he's black. Same with Brian Banks. Brian Banks is a football. Well, he's a football player. He spent 5 years in a state penitentiary for a crime he didn't commit. He didn't rape nobody, But he spent 5 years, and the Black Lives Matter couldn't march for this man, couldn't stand by this man, couldn't help this man. He spent 5 years in prison, and when they found out the girl lied, they let him go, and he got signed to NFL. He did that without the Black Lives Matter. He did without the Me Too movement. And y'all sitting up here so proud and happy that there's two movements that don't help nobody. They don't do a damn thing for them. They're irrelevant. They're fucking it. To be honest, they're relevant. Black Lives Matter. Y'all ain't nah. Y'all pick and choose what cases y'all want to march for. It's funny. They want to march for when black folks get killed by police officers, but they can't march for black men who get falsely accused for rape. Look at I know this has been years ago, but look at the Central Park Five. Five minorities get arrested, spend 18 years in prison for rape, and nobody from the Black Lives Matter movements today got a hold of them and talked to them. He says, "What was it like to be falsely accused, or what was it like to spend 18 years of your life in prison?" I said, "Did it make you mad that you was falsely accused of a crime you didn't commit?" How come Black Lives Matter never sat down and did that to Brian Banks? Did y'all only march for black people who get killed by police? And how do the Me Too movement stand up and not support Corey Feldman when he sat there and said for the last several years there's pedophile and rapists in Hollywood, that he was raped? No, he was, yeah, he was raped, and well, he wasn't right. He said he was sexually assaulted and molested as a kid. He couldn't tell all their names. Me Too movement did not come out for him. Me Too movement did not stand by this man. And he said it for the last several years. Well, there's pedophiles and rapists in Hollywood. There are directors and producers. The Me Too movement never sat down with him. They never backed him up. But what happened was that girl that was in that movie Jawbreakers and Charm, y'all still, what's her name? But what's her name? She was in the movie Jawbreaker. What was it? Rose McGowan. Yeah, Rose McGowan. When she said she was raped or whatever, y'all stood up for her. I said it's awfully funny y'all stood up for her. But when it came down to Corey Feldman, y'all didn't want to do a damn thing. Y'all just want to act like he wasn't shit. And that's bad to see that he said it for years. That he said for years that there was rapists and pedophiles in Hollywood. None of y'all backed him up. None of y'all did nothing. Y'all sat there and looked at him like he wasn't nothing. But when that Rose McGout girl said she was raped, y'all quick to, oh yes, let's support her, support her. It's awfully funny that y'all support that girl, but you wouldn't support him. And it makes me think. I said, how can you be a movement to support people who's been sexually assaulted or raped, but you won't support every rape victim or every every rape victim or sexual assault victim? You're quick to pick and choose the people you want to represent or march for. And I think it's unfair that y'all have these movements that do that, and and y'all still support them, and they don't support nobody. And like I said before, they're irrelevant. They're nothing. They're just a poor excuse for a mute movement. Martin Luther King had a movement. It's funny. Martin Luther King had a movement, and look where his movement got today. Black people going to school with white people. Black people can marry white people. And it's sad to see this that I'm calling bullshit on both movements because I don't see them as irrelevant. I don't see them as a movement. I don't see them as something to be happy and represent. Ooh, I like it. I don't. It's just to me, it's just BS. And y'all still want to latch on to it. Y'all still want to love on it. Y'all still want to all this and that. And I can't be a part of. Y'all can sit there and Afro Joe, you don't get it. Yeah, I get it when black men gets accused of rape. Black Lives Matter don't want to do a damn thing about it. But when that thug, when that black man that kills that other black man, y'all want to represent that, or y'all want to represent that black person get killed by a cop. But when it comes down to a black man getting falsely accused, y'all don't want to do a damn thing about it. Or when a man gets sexual assaulted or raped, the Me Too movement don't want to march and support him, but you're quick to support a female in a heartbeat. Y'all can sit there. Well, you can't wait to really say that to the men in prison every day. There's men getting raped in prison every day. There's no Me Too movement there. Every day, men in prison get raped, and nobody's going off in there and marching for none of them. But y'all quick to get behind something that is BS. Y'all really want to get behind something that's not worth nothing. How do you support two movements that don't give a damn about nobody but publicity? And then y'all suspect I'm supposed to, like, I'm not gonna support it. And I'm telling you this, there's women today that's been raped, that's been sexual assaulted today that doesn't want to have jack squat to do with the Me Too movement because of what happened. Same with black people that don't want to have nothing to nothing to do with uh, nothing to do with the Black Lives Matter movement because what happened? Because they see right through the BS and they see that it's all about publicity. It was never about the case. It was never about the people that's been through stuff. It's never been about nothing but publicity. Y'all can get mad. Y'all can get frustrated. Y'all can sit there and say, Joe, you're in the wrong. Look at these people. When have you ever seen the Me Too movement stand up behind Corey Feldman when he asked for help? When have you ever seen Black Lives Matter ever stand up for Bill Cosby when he needed help? you see all these victims that's been screwed over by these by these not companies but movements, and don't do a damn thing about it. You quick to sit there and jump on board with something that's fancy. I just can't bring myself to support neither one. Y'all gotta sit and think, do you really want to get behind something that's nothing but for publicity, and they really don't do nothing? Like, there's people that don't want to have nothing to do with neither movement. They're not worth two shits of fuck. But y'all want to get around behind it and support it, but y'all don't want to do nothing about it. You see all these people that need help, they don't get it from Black Lives Matter or the Me Too movement. They get what diddly squat. But there's so many people that's sitting out there that needed the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement that they can't even get it because they're too damn busy in the fucking spotlight to even get off their ass to do something about it. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr. Tell me what you think down in the comments below.